Ever looked at a lock and wondered what's happening inside? That intricate dance of pins, springs, and tumblers, all designed to keep things secure. It's a mechanical puzzle, a secret world hidden in plain sight. Today, we're not just looking, we're diving in. Welcome to the captivating art and science of lockpicking. But before we go any further, let's get this crystal clear. This journey is strictly for educational and recreational purposes. We're diving into the sport of lockpicking, or locksport, a hobby for ethical enthusiasts. The two golden rules are non-negotiable. First, never pick a lock you don't own. And second, never pick a lock that is currently in use, even if you own it. Our goal is to understand and appreciate the engineering behind these security devices, not to compromise it. We're here to learn, solve puzzles, and respect the craft, all within the strict bounds of the law. So what does it take to begin? The tools are as varied as the locks. We'll start with the fundamentals, the classic hook and the tension wrench. This is the heart of single-pin picking, a delicate process of setting each pin one by one. Then we'll explore rakes, designed to set multiple pins at once for a quicker open. We'll even look at modern innovations like electric pick guns and decoders, understanding the evolution in this cat-and-mouse game between lockmakers and pickers. From simple padlocks to complex deadbolts, we'll dissect how they work and how they can be non-destructively bypassed. If you're ready to unlock a new skill, challenge your mind, and appreciate the intricate beauty of mechanical security, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because this is just the beginning. Join us on this educational adventure with HowToEducation.
Before we begin, a critical reminder. Everything you're about to see is for educational purposes only. The skills of lockpicking should only be practiced on locks you personally own. The global locksport community is built on a foundation of trust and strict ethical guidelines. This knowledge is a tool for understanding security, not for violating privacy or breaking the law. Always respect legal and personal boundaries. So, how does a standard pin-tumbler lock work? Inside, a cylinder, or plug, must rotate to open the lock. Preventing this are several pin stacks. Each stack has a lower key pin and an upper driver pin, pushed down by a spring. The division between these pins is the shear line. When the correct key is inserted, its unique cuts lift each pin stack to the perfect height. This aligns the gap between the key pins and driver pins precisely along the shear line, allowing the plug to turn freely and the lock to open. An incorrect key fails to create this alignment, keeping the lock secure. To manipulate these pins without the key, we use specialized tools. The classic method involves a tension wrench and a pick. The tension wrench applies slight rotational force to the plug, binding the pins. A hook pick then lifts each pin individually until it sets at the shear line, often with a subtle click. For a faster approach, a rake can scrub across the pins to set them quickly. More kinetic methods include pick guns, which use a vibrating needle to rapidly strike the pins, causing the driver pins to jump above the shear line. A bump key works similarly. Cut to a uniform depth, it's struck to transfer energy to the pins, creating a momentary gap for the plug to turn. Understanding these methods isn't about breaking in, it's about appreciating the engineering behind everyday security. This knowledge is vital for locksmiths, security professionals, and hobbyists in the sport of lockpicking. The golden rule is to never pick a lock that isn't yours. If you found this deep dive educational and want to learn more about how things work responsibly, subscribe and check out HowToEducation.
For educational purposes only, we're about to explore the advanced realm of lock bypassing, a world far beyond simple hooks and rakes. Ever wonder how locks truly work? And more importantly, how professionals defeat them when keys are lost? The tools we're about to show you are not toys. They are sophisticated instruments used by licensed locksmiths and security professionals for non-destructive entry. Understanding their function is the first step in appreciating modern lock security and its vulnerabilities. Let's dive into the engineering of access. First, we have the key decoder. This isn't a tool for picking, it's a tool for reading. Think of it less as a skeleton key and more as a mechanical cryptographer. Its purpose is to meticulously map the inside of a lock to create a new key from scratch. A skilled technician inserts the decoder and delicately manipulates it, feeling each pin stack one by one. They measure the precise depth each pin needs to be lifted to reach the shear line. These measurements, or bidding depths, are recorded. Once the code for all pins is known, that information is entered into a key-cutting machine, which then mills a brand new, perfectly functional key. It's a method that requires immense patience and a sensitive touch, reserved for situations where preserving the lock is paramount. Next, the electric pick gun. If the decoder is a scalpel, the pick gun is a jackhammer. It's a speed demon that whacks all the pins at once, relying on a principle called kinetic energy transfer. The gun's rapidly vibrating needle strikes all the bottom pins simultaneously. This impact transfers energy through them to the top pins, launching them all upwards past the shear line for a fraction of a second. During that tiny window, light turning pressure applied with a tension wrench allows the core to rotate, opening the lock. While incredibly effective on many standard pin-tumbler locks, it's a brute force technique. It can be noisy, less discreet, and if used without finesse, it risks damaging the lock's internal mechanisms. It's a powerful tool that trades subtlety for speed. And now, the controversial bump key. This is often called a skeleton key on steroids, and for good reason. Its simplicity is what makes it so notorious. A bump key is a key specially cut so that all its notches are at the maximum possible depth. When inserted into a compatible lock, it's pulled out by one click, then struck sharply with a soft mallet or screwdriver handle. This bump functions just like the pick gun. The force is transferred to the top pins, making them jump. With the right amount of simultaneous turning pressure, the lock opens. The controversy arises from how easily these keys can be made and circulated, leading many high-security lock manufacturers to engineer specific countermeasures, like special pins that trap the key or absorb the impact. Remember, these are serious tools for pros, not toys. Their misuse carries severe legal consequences. The goal of this education is defense, to understand the methods of attack so you can choose better security and protect your property. For enthusiasts, the legal and ethical pursuit of this skill is known as lock sport, where hobbyists practice on locks they own. If you found this deep dive educational and want to learn more about the technologies that shape our world, subscribe and check out HowToEducation. Cylinder locks are everywhere. Professionals use tubular picks for authorized, non-destructive entry. For legal use only. Found this educational? Subscribe. Cylinder locks, especially those found in vending machines, are designed for both convenience and security. These locks use a series of pins arranged in a circular pattern, making them resistant to traditional lockpicking methods. The most common tool for authorized entry is the tubular pick, which aligns with the lock's pin layout. To use it, a technician carefully inserts the pick, gently adjusting the needles to match the pin heights. When done correctly, the lock opens smoothly without damage. It's crucial to remember, these techniques are strictly for legal authorized use, never for unauthorized access. Always respect property and the law.